Hi everybody, this is CVGS, I'm the captain here, and welcome to another top 6 tournament fight that we have for you guys over here at CVGS that happened live last weekend on the 28th of January. And this is a matchup between Chronojet and Youthberk. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the names for either one of these players, so I apologize to the players for not being able to get your names in time. But otherwise, this is actually a good match that we're going to be seeing right now with Chronojet and also with Youthberk in there. Just getting in right there. So as the turn goes off, Youthberk had the first turn. I'll refer to the players as Chronojet and Youthberk, respectively. Just to make sure. But now we're seeing Chronojet taking that second turn, calling out that crest card and also getting 2 draws. One from Chronojet and the other one from CVGS Dragon that rode on top of Chronojet. It also allows you to spawn the crest too as well. And the crest is the gimmick of the Chronojet deck and is the one that will really, bring a lot of power to it. So we'll explain more as we get into the turns right there in case you're unfamiliar. But otherwise, we now move on to the Youthberk's turn. And Youthberk riding into the grade 2, making use of the grade 2's, the grade 1 skill when you roll upon a grade 2 and looking for a grade 2 or more to call down or Youthberk to add to hand. And so he calls down the Divine Sister, whose name is very, very hard to pronounce. So I'm not going to even try at this point in time. I will try and practice later on. But right now, we got 2 Divine Sisters coming up to the side and Sequana coming down as a booster behind the Vanguard. So damage check, no trigger on there. It's a Balif going down. Alrighty. Yeah, and now the Vanguard attacks from there. So check, Wayward Therapy Angel. Trigger, so critical trigger, defensive trigger coming in. The last Divine Sister cannot attack CVGS Dragon, and so the turn passes over. Now, as we see, Falcon Performer actually being discarded as for the right deck, I should say. Yeah, we're seeing CVGS Dragon coming down for the Vanguard Circle. So CVGS Dragon does not do anything until it's ridden upon by Chronojet Dragon. So yeah, and we'll see what he does. So he's got a counterattack back against that. So GG skill being called down, getting +1 draw as well with the Soul Blast 2. And that's interesting to note as well, because even though there's Soul Blast 2 as well, Falcon Performer can actually, there we go, Falcon Performer can actually send cards to the bottom of the deck. So since we did see one in the discard pile after all, so if you had another one and go from there. Upstream Dragon attacking right there. He has that Generation Break skill, which in case you're uninformed, Generation Break is a skill that allows that can only be unlocked once you have a face-up G unit in the G zone or in the Vanguard Circle. But as you can see over here, as the turn passes over, both Divine Sisters are gone. Falcon Performer sending Chronojet back into the soul, which is actually very, very, very wise. And yeah, really cool to see it. So really cool to see an alternative to Brainwash Swirler in a Chronojet deck. So Falcon Performer is really awesome. But now, as we can see, Wayward Therapy Angel being discarded for the cost of the right deck. So Blast 1 being called out. Youthberk's skill, looking at the top 3 cards and unfortunately not be able to add anything to his hand. So, but another Soul Blast coming out because Wayward Therapy Angel was discarded, so it gets to come up one more time. So there's 2 10Ks on that side, which is good enough to be able to hit that 10K CVGS Dragon also. So, Youthberk coming out, no guard, first check, nothing. Second check, front trigger. All units in the front row gets plus 10k. And up to 3 damage right now. Revolve Form into Tempest. Counter Blast 1. Opening up the top 2 cards. Unfortunately, nothing that you can actually send to the bottom deck also, but that +2 to hand also is a really, really good add. So another Tempest and critical trigger for defenses right now. But right now it is Tempest coming in, and Sequana did go into the soul, which means the Tempest has +1 drive restored. So check, no trigger unfortunately, but that does guarantee a persona right next turn. So now this is 20k to CVGS Dragon, 15k guard right here. Yeah, no, not 15k because Tempest I believe adds a +5k to the front row, so actually 25. So my mistake, everybody. So yeah, this is 25k also. Damage check, 4th damage. Chronojet going into the damage zone, and another 25 coming in also. And that is a 20k guard right there. So tough guts. But the turn passes over, and now this is where things start to get a little bit more dicey right now. So because we are about to see Chronojet Dragon take the field right now. So yes, Chronojet Dragon making use of the Soul Blast right now from CVGS Dragon skill, which allows him to search out for grade 3, and Balif is always a good choice in this deck, especially since he's an ideal card to discard for striding. And striding, you just need to discard cards with the sum of grade 3 or more. And with Balif's skill, if it's discarded for the cost of strike, he gets to get +1 draw. Always a solid choice, so to have Balif just be the target card for basic gear. Sets everything up. So speaking of which, Balif being discarded for the cost of strike, riding into Flagburg Dragon from the G zone. Now GB1 is activated. And then of course Balif getting the +1 draw as well. And now we're seeing Chronojet Dragon. Counter +1, send a card to the bottom of the deck when you strike, when your G unit strikes. Classic skill from the G era back in the day. But let's see what else the Chronojet player will do right now. So he's got GG on that side, he's got Falcon Performer on that side too as well. Will he call out another attacker on that right side just to up the pressure right here? Because the one thing that Chronojet is well known for, it's the amount of attacks and the amount of power that comes with those attacks also. And that's mainly because of the crest that's in play. The crest in play allows all units in front row to actually gain +5k for every face-up card in the G zone. Yeah, so I got a bit distracted there because the heal trigger comes down, which is actually very, very smart. Because of the Fate Rider's ability, he can actually send that heal trigger to the bottom of the deck, return it back to the deck essentially, and turn it into a grade 1. So thanks to what is known back in the day as time leaping, which is sending a card to the bottom of the deck and then calling a card with the same grade. With one grade plus to the Vanguard circle. So with GG attacking first with Falcon Performance sending back Chrono Dragon back into the soul. And then Fate Rider skill, counter +1, flip a G unit face up, which is Chrono Dragon next stage, sending that heal trigger as I expected to back into the deck, and searching for a grade 1 over here. So got some good ideal choices, but Gear 0 is the most ideal, I would say. So all units in front row gets +5k. I believe Gear 0 also gets +5k thanks to Fate Rider skill. And yeah. Gear 0 also has its own +5k too as well. Sorry, my mistake. It should be Gear 0 that actually has its own +5k instead of the other way around. So, but otherwise, Gear 0, drive check, critical trigger, crit to the Vanguard, power to the side. Third check, another critical trigger. So that's 3 damage coming in, and power I believe went into Balif on that side instead. Sequana, Youthberk. Oh my goodness, it's already 5 damage already, ladies and gentlemen. So 5 damage, the defensive trigger coming in, so +10k to the Vanguard. Which will be good to help defend against the plus powers that is happening right now, thanks to the crest, thanks to the triggers too as well. So cutting out the power for Gear 0 right now, does Youthberk have enough to be able to guard this also? I believe it's 13 +5. Oh no, I think I've lost track of all the powers, so my apologies everybody. But let's see what the Youthberk player does also. He does have that Balif to defend against as well, so this might be tough also. He no guards it against a heal trigger, so it's a 6 damage heal. The match continues on. So Youthberk 20k guard from there, sorry. Youthberk +2 defensive trigger, so it's like 33, then +20k, it will defend against whatever Balif is attacking with, and the turn passes over. So G unit goes back up, and yeah. Persona right on Youthberk's turn. And right now we'll see what he can do. So he's definitely got plenty of options, as you can see from his hand. Just a little bit. Plenty of cards in there. But discarding Wayward Therapy Angel, making use of Youthberk's ability and finding Tempest. Sending the rest to the bottom of the deck. And Wayward Therapy Angel, of course, you saw +1, you get call out the Vanguard circle. So he's got both Wayward Therapy Angels on both sides. So both 10k boosters on there. So pulling back Wayward Therapy Angel, calling out Schnizel. Schnizel looking at top 5 cards. Will he find anything in those top 5? And he does find another Revolve Form Tempest right there. And shuffles up the deck. Not much more I can add to this matchup, unfortunately. So it is as you see, guys. We're getting to see 2 Tempests right there. Another Schnizel coming down, so counter +1, making use of Schnizel's skill. Look at the top 5 again. There's so much that I can really add on, so other than the fact that we already know that there's 2 Tempests in Youthberk's hand. But does he have a Sequana? Because Sequana is really what will aim it from here. So, and maybe he has Gust too as well, because I believe that if he has Gust in his hand, he could possibly use Gust and Sequana together to get +2 drives and get 2 drive checks once again. And I say that because of the fact that I believe that there's still quite a number of triggers left in the deck still for Youthberk. So this could be beneficial from here, but we see Youthberk attacking on his own 23k. Both Schneizels are currently 20k on their own, then of course plus the boosters, so it's like 30k right there. But what will the Chronojet player do? He's at 4 damage right now, so I'm not sure if he needs to be careful. Maybe perfect guard this or try to guard this. Over triggers haven't come out in play 2 as well, so we have seen neither over triggers coming out. So trigger check right there, just as I was mentioning, no over triggers out at the moment right now. This could get dicey, but here we go. We got Arlim coming in for the PG. Critical trigger, power to Schneizel, and critical to Schneizel too as well, and River Therapy Angel coming out. And riding into Tempest, so making use of Tempest's skill once more. All units of power gets +5k. And grade 0, grade 1. So grade 1 he gets to send a card to the bottom of the deck. But no. He's choosing gear 0 to go in to the bottom of the deck. So which is actually pretty wise also, because 5k Performer is shut down immediately once what you call it? Once there's enough grades in the soul that it cannot put another one inside. So yeah. Just removing an interceptor too as well, because Gear 0 also has the ability to intercept. If we send any other cards, it's still that it can actually intercept. So it removes a defensive option from Chronojet through there. But Schneizel coming in with the attack right now with the critical trigger on that side, so I believe that's 40 that I counted. Then plus a 5k from Tempest as well, so I believe this is 45k coming down. It's a big old guard. And from the looks of it, it seems that Chronojet might not have a lot of cards to defend with over here, but let's see what he does. He does have 2 damage to play out, so he could possibly take the 5th damage for Schneizel if he's able to block this Schneizel with the critical. Oh yeah, and of course there's also Youthberk attacking too as well, so can't forget about that. But the PG gonna defend himself from that loss right there, that must guard. And now Youthberk deciding whether if he wants to attack first or he wants to get plus another 5k for Schneizel. The other Schneizel actually already gave plus 5k to that, so we're looking at 33k currently right now on Tempest. If he attacks with the other Schneizel, that Tempest goes up to 38 or so. And let's see how we go from there. So attacking with Schneizel. So plus power to the Vanguard, so that's like 33k. 3 cards left in hand on Chronojet side, so this is looking dicey, ladies and gentlemen. No guard on Schneizel, plus 10k to the Vanguard, so defensive trigger onto the Vanguard. And yeah, Youthberk not knowing that he won't be able to hit Chronojet with it, so decides to limit his field since there's so many cards left in the hand. So yeah, just try and see whether we can get rid more of the hand or get rid of Barlif. So that depends on what was in his hand. So, but 2 triggers came out to defend against Barlif, no problem. And yeah, the turn passes over to Chronojet, and let's see what Chronojet does also. Youthberk got away with the 6 damage heal right there, but it seems like he's taking control of this game. But of course, when it comes to Vanguard, anything can happen also. But stride skill, sending one of the Schneizels to the bottom of the deck. Fate Rider coming out with the stride. He managed to have Steam Breath Dragon actually to be able to strike too, which is fortunate, because then he'll be able to get more power out across the board. But of course, if he didn't have also, he still has Chronojet's Generation Break 2 also, which would avoid any Sentinels coming out, because Grade 1s or more cannot guard for his attack. But moving Falcon Performer up and calling out his last card in hand, which is a critical trigger. So that side is plus the power from the crest as well. So Falcon Performer currently attacking for 18. But we are going to be looking at plus another 5k from there. It's Fate Rider, but defense goes down. So Maple and the intercept from Schneizel protects Youthberk from Falcon Performer. Fate Rider Dragon now coming in for the attack, and he's going to use his ability. Flipping G unit face up now in the entire front row, plus 15k thanks to the crest in play. And sending Falcon Performer down and possibly looking for, yes, Upstream Dragon. So Upstream Dragon, a key crucial part to the Chronojet attack pattern, mainly because of the fact that he can actually grade down himself when he attacks. He can get plus 5k power, but if he does, he must be sent to the bottom of the deck, and a grade 1 needs to be called out also. So you could possibly call Gear 0 or GG to Soul Blast and then call again. A lot of possible things that you can go over here, but otherwise it boils down to the fact that there's just another attack. But there's no guard on the Youthberk player. He's gonna take that 6 damage. First check, second check, third check, no triggers across the board. Gust coming in, and that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. So, woo, what a game, guys! What a game. But as I flash up the deck profiles for you guys, so you guys can see from both players, the Chronojet player actually playing with an interesting build with no Brave War Swirler, but playing with Falcon Performer instead, which I like very much as well, because if you don't have Brave War Swirler because of its unavailability or whatnot, so Falcon Performer, if you have your hands on that, is actually a really good card as well, and allows you to be able to recycle your drop zone to have your soul replenished back with missing grades, and yeah, everything else in the deck is a run-of-the-mill Chronojet that you can see over there from the set. Really interesting build as well. I like this very much as well. But as I flip over to the Youthberk deck, I want to point out that I've seen this deck build before with cards like Reedy and some of the other cards that you see over here that's conventionally not in a Youthberk deck, and that's because I've seen this deck actually played in Worlds that happened also in the same weekend too as well. But this tournament happened before Worlds dropped as well, so it goes to show that this build is a tried and true, well-tested deck, so that's played quite around with most Youthberk players, so it's quite interesting to see, and I do enjoy seeing it in action right here, so kind of tempted to just kind of play this myself. So, but of course, if you guys like what you see here, then be sure to give us a like and subscribe over here on the YouTube channel too as well, and make sure that you ring the bells to get notified of all of our videos when they get released. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you